It's easier to think of him as a monster, something inhuman, than to confront the real horror.
Right, YouTube, Twitch and Kick. It's been a little break. But here we are. It's actually pretty early in the morning. So I guess we achieved getting my sleep schedule reset, at least for right now. Oh man, let me find some good music to listen to for myself here. We'll figure out what today looks like. Not the biggest fan of this time of year, honestly. I enjoy the holidays and that, but the reduced sunlight is quite problematic, and that might just be because being from Scotland, the UK, I just associate it with like Blair, and yeah. Let's take a quick look at the ocean temperatures out here. Still significantly warmer than most of the world, but a little bit too chilly for me. Let's check. Yeah, it's about the warmest it's going to be for the next 3 or 4 months. We're looking at 80 degrees, which doesn't sound too bad, but yeah, start camping up real easy. It's going to get down to the mid-70s, and it'll start warming up again around June. So maybe it's worth going out today, actually. I've seen that conditions have slowly crept up as far as like water clarity and that, but I haven't had much of a desire to fish or anything like that. I've just not felt still enough to stand there with a fishing rod. It's something I do enjoy, but yeah. So this will be one of the first streams where you actually see the place get lighter, because there's a window pretty much off to the right of the camera over there, and typically when I get on here it's late. I've done better in the past couple of weeks where I was getting on at maybe 7 p.m. or so, but I did want to note that Cloudflare has seemed to have had a large outage. It's affected a lot of websites such as Kik, ChatGPT, and I'm always telling you, and always mentioning, I wonder when the next AI brownout will occur and how that will affect people that rely on it exclusively to do literally everything for them. I suppose it's no different than how I rely on an internet connection, but so just kind of wanted to actually get on the stream. I didn't really have a plan or know what I was coding today. Obviously, I have this gigantic project, and we dip off into all sorts of interesting areas and explore them. But after the last stream, which would have been about 4 or 5 days ago now, I stayed on with PH Designs and actually gave them like an offline tour, more akin to a lot of the stuff that you guys haven't seen, and just kind of I think he got a proper grip of just how much thought I've put into building this system. And a lot of that is just taking what I've learned working building stuff myself and working in large corporations and seeing some of the good ideas they have to actually like make the software development and release process smoother. And how I've found that is I'll note specific patterns. It might sound something super simple, or you might hear it and you'll be like, oh yeah, but you don't do it, right? We'll start one of those features. It's just simply put in new features or layout changes behind flags. So say we put together a large update, it's got contributions of 40 different programmers, and we put it out there. Some of those features might be thoroughly tested. We might know how the consumers are going to respond to them. Some of them might not be, so we might not know how the consumer responds to them, and we might want a switch to flip it back. Well, what ends up happening is essentially the programmers and the data team will come up with a large schema of all these different booleans and different variables that can change the behavior of a site, a page, or a feature or component. And it saves a lot of time because, say, you push out an update that changes the buying experience on a product display page. Being able to toggle that feature on or off, or toggle those UI features on or off, saves an inordinate amount of time, because preparing for a deploy, to revert back to where you were, creates all sorts of messes that you only really see in larger development teams or larger projects, where even the deployment pipelines now, like everything's moved to the cloud. There's been instances where companies I've worked at have not even been able to deploy code to fix bugs on live production sites. So I just want to hammer the importance of making use of booleans as flags. Have a nice dynamic little system that lets you go through and control which new features work and which ones don't, and fallbacks. And it can everything from use this maps API as opposed to this one. I've seen it all, and that was one of the things that I never really put in my own projects before, but working at the large corporation I did previously, I was like, that's a great idea. So this whole system here, I built it that way, and PH was giving me some feedback, on the user interface here, and I'm like, let me hear it. That's what I want. I'm just a developer. I don't know how to design stuff. I don't even know how to use things particularly well. I just like building for the hell of it. And it turns out a lot of the suggestions or changes he was suggesting were things I already lined up flags for. So it's like, well, maybe have the chat stacked horizontally and have a friends list over here, or all that sort of stuff. I was able to literally go through and show him all that without releasing any code, without making any changes. And it, I appreciated his reaction. It kind of blew his mind a little bit, seeing that the amount of thought that went into building that. And I say it all the time, it's because I'm not smart enough to know what's needed. Sam D-Dev, how are you going? Oh man, I feel you on that. This is a tough time of year. What were you interviewing for and what happened? Should be able to hear comments read out, but of course we didn't. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm feeling the stress of the work situation and industry right now too, man. 100%.
I botched an back-end roll.
A back-end roll. What makes you think you botched it? Honestly, you got to give yourself a clap for even getting an interview scheduled. It's been like that for me.
Come with me to the interview.
That's possible. Like I said, though, you've got further than a lot of us right now. Have you got anything else lined up that you're, going to prepare a little bit better for? Or anything you could do better for the next one?
YH, I think so.
Good deal. Well, as I always get told, keep your head up. It's easier said than done, but that'll get you halfway there.
Messed up my whole mood today, though.
Yeah, it will do that, man. It will do that. You know, so much of what we do is attached to routines and schedules and stuff. So anything that gets in the way of having that or creating that, problematic. I can empathise. How did you get the interview in the first place? Was it like LinkedIn, a recruiter, something you applied for?
A recruiter reached out to me.
Yeah, that's how most of the jobs happen these days. I read something that said too, it's like, you know, you'll see these positions on LinkedIn, hundreds of developers will apply for the position, and it's like they've already fielded out the position internally or have recruiters working to fill those roles. And that's so true. So true. But that's a good sign. If you've got people recruiting you on your LinkedIn, you'll get through it. But I do have to say, like, we're in Q4 right now. This is when businesses are, just in general, I can tell you in America, they're gun shy with the hiring. A lot of layoffs, a lot of people falling back. But the one thing we do have to look forward to is January 1st, start of a new year. It's when budgets are allocated and people are found.
Fingers crossed then.
Indeed. And cross your fingers for me, buddy. I need it. Appreciate the like. That helps with supporting and growing this channel. Let's see if I can block this up. Automatically saving my stuff, you know. Sam D Dev, were you already subscribed to the channel, or was this served up to you as a live stream that you just scrolled through? Like every time resets my category to the wrong thing. Not sure why. A little bit tempted to book a flight to New York City of all places. So you could get up there for $100. Never been, and everybody I've tried to go up there with says they want to go, but never actually goes. And you know, I'm not from America, but I've lived here long enough that that's by far the biggest city, and I've never been up there. Worked a lot on the West Coast, and interesting experiences. I think out of all the cities on the West Coast, I actually enjoyed Seattle the most. It's a wee bit grimy, and I get that New York's probably not much better, but yeah, I want to see it. When my granddad, when he lived in America during like the 70s, that's where he was. He was a chef up in the city up there. Florida's just too spread out, man. And we've got Miami. Done some interesting stuff down there, but too much of the same. Let's see if we're getting this Cloudflare error with Kick over here so I can show you. Yeah, you see this? Cloudflare's having an outage, and it's affecting a large amount of internet right now. Yeah, you know, people use Cloudflare to make their sites accessible in like high load situations, but it seems to be one of the most like the most faulty links of the entire internet is these CDNs. And I think it does a little bit more than that these days, but remarkable. And yeah, okay, if Atlanta Cloudflare's down, why isn't it rerouting it somewhere else? Like, why aren't we hitting Ohio? Why aren't we hitting something else? Fascinating. Yeah, so we go on to ChatGPT as well. You'll see just, we could just start typing in websites show how much the internet depends on Cloudflare, but even Kick itself is inaccessible. I guess YouTube hosts its own, so we don't have to worry about that there. Twitch is on Amazon's network. They also have their own situation going on. The one that doesn't have kind of traction on the streaming right now. It's always entertaining to see other people. These folks have been at it 2 hours, 46 minutes, and not a single person watching. I wish I knew what they were saying. Programas de información. Looks like Spanish. It's funny seeing how these websites try to load. One of those old school guys that believes you should do as much as you possibly can yourself. And yeah, you get hit for that as well, but at least you learn what's going on under this. There's alarms waking everyone up this morning, waking up DevOps teams all over the country, and they're not able to do a thing but about it. Twitter's down, so it looks like X also uses Cloudflare. Remarkable. Yeah, Twitter's very homepage is down, so it's like they literally like cache all their stuff for them. Fascinating, man. Who else big is it taking out? Let's rename this stream to Cloudflare is down. You know, a lot of you folks use Cloudflare don't even know it, especially y'all using sites like WordPress or Shopify and all these external third-party plugins, tools, external fonts. Yeah, just because you're not directly using it doesn't mean all these tools you're using are not. I often say it's like the internet is just cobbled together. It's remarkable, even works at all. Looks like Truth Social was also impacted. Interesting. Downdetector.com was also down. Oh, it's funny. The very websites you use to track the status of the internet going off. Remarkable. You got to think, like, what does this do to their business? Like, do these corporations probably don't have any recourse with the terms of service? This impact would be mostly affecting Europe right now, right? And America's just beginning to wake up. You know, it's the most fascinating thing about outages like this is the cascading outage, and yeah, get a little bit recursive. What's funny is their official website is only showing anomaly in Senegal and Guinea in Africa. We know that's not the case. It's all over. What a life. There's all sorts of experiments I was messing with. Like we did a WebAssembly implementation for A-star pathfinding. A lot of this client code is ancient though. Look at this, 3 years ago. But big project. That's what we're gonna get. Oh, it's boiling in here. I need to get the AC on.
That woman would come out of nowhere.
I set up another spare room in the house here, and the bloody dog's treated it as his own bed. Stinky dog. I'd build the iPhone app till I was to do these avatar streams out and about. And if today's the day where we actually test it during the day, I do have to drive into town though. I have terrible internet and public over here. My neighbour next door who built this $1 million compound went all out for Christmas. It's pretty cool. It's so out of place. I'm in a very, very rural area, and there's all these cities, planned developments that have been sprouting up essentially since I got this place, which is well over a decade now. And so a lot of rich folk came down from up north. I might have came from up north, but I was like, Scotland doesn't count. I'm not a snowbird, I'm a glacier bird. Anyway, they bought a house in one of these planned cities, spent like a couple of million on it. Obviously hated it. Everyone's house is like one of three colours. They're all right next to each other, and you're still, like, the traffic situation is just as bad to get to the built up fake cities here as it is to get to like this rural spot that's like kind of chill. So what they ended up doing is, I guess they sold their place in that Lego city and bought the land up next to me here. Took every single tree out. I mean, every pine tree, every single one. It went on for months. You just hear it was like a scene out of the Avatar, with the big trees hitting the ground. It's like, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, man, it's not my property. I can't do anything. I'm not supposed to care. And you don't have to be a bloody environmentalist. It's just like where I live. Like it's it's a green area. There's trees and everything around, and there's deer and there's boar and there's all sorts of birds and reptiles. So to like see that get like systematically destroyed is a wee bit of a bummer. And I often say this, like fishermen and hunters are like the biggest conservationists because they understand the value of untouched land. You're not going to be able to support any ecosystems in it without that. But anyway, so they have this giant house that must cover over 1.5 acres of land, which is quite impressive. Think about that. I think an acre is the size of a football pitch. Maybe it's 2, I don't know, but it's substantial. And the rest of it is just like I tried looking at it when I drove by yesterday, like to see if like what it looks like, because like a bunch of bright lights, colorful lights in the darkness could be cool, but it was just so much. It was like I don't see any order to it. It's just like someone spent like 10 grand on lights and stuff like that, and that's what you get. Oh shit. The AC is supposed to be on, but we don't feel it, do we? back now. Hopefully that impact didn't impact me, but it's more of a curiosity, honestly. Oh. That's why Sam D was asking if I had sad music. I definitely do, buddy. It wasn't meant to be muted, but there you go. Should we build a new stream room? Figure out what to do next. You've ever played or seen the game Unpacking? It's one of the features here. You get to design and build your own little spaces. You can right click to like remove tiles, but if you're in edit mode, you can't just drag the screen around, so it's kind of annoying. I might have to address it. These days I find most of my development time is on the React side, WebRTC, and even the server. I think when I demoed this to PH, the face mask feature wasn't working. Do you want to investigate that? What we're going to do is we're going to take a little look at Discord and stuff today. Take some inspiration. Work on some settings, layouts. I'll probably set up for a real world IRL test today, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to see what I'm doing, but in the real world, because obviously not the most popular streamer, but I'm building a tool that'll let people do that themselves. Yeah, we have to fix this alignment, break this up a wee bit. How does Discord do it? Oh, that's awesome. So we had someone check into Discord. I can't remember if this is Ash, but a regular viewer on the channel is working on a Spotify that you can host yourself. They came on a Discord and posted about it. And let's take a wee look here. Curious if it uses your local audio library or what's going on, but it's pretty sweet. I know he's using React. Library scan, yeah, it's using your local files. This is cool. I appreciate him taking the time to share this with us. It looks good, especially in the mobile view. Very, very clean. Well done. Dylan asks, how'd you do this? It's quite cool. Do you have a GitHub account so people could hear this going? Yeah, it's probably no surprise anyone listening to this that one of the most valuable parts about just streaming on the bloody internet is having people come on and share their projects, what they're building, their code struggles, even you know, their disappointments and fears and successes. Because it's not a linear path. Like when you start coding and build things, you go all over the place. And those that are rewarded are the ones that just keep with it, even when it's lull, and it's dark, and you know, no one hears what you're working on. One of the bits of feedback is, you know, the whole live streaming tools, chat and everything is just hid all behind this simple little crappy button at the top. It's not very clear what the system is until you click it. And even then, it doesn't really reveal that, like, hey, you can run a full entire live stream to other main services and have wireless video inputs and avatars responding to live chats. I have to really figure that out. Sort of an incomplete feature was implementing GPT for all local language models. So as we could take a look at that, it's quiet enough. Probably 10, maybe a dozen different key things that I'd want to get complete, and it's difficult. Other than just my...
Your site's being affected to with internal error 500.
Are you referring to the Cloudflare error that we're seeing on Twitter and all that? Even took out ChatGPT, a bunch of sites, but it looks like they're recovering now.
All my pages are down yet.
Interesting, Matt Games. Could be because of the Cloudflare situation. Started about an hour ago, and it took out a significant bit of this website. Before you go on, I was mentioning, even if you don't use Cloudflare, if you use WordPress, it could be relying on Cloudflare services, and you might not even know it.
It shows Cloudflare on the page yet.
Yeah, these issues are becoming more and more common with them. I understand why people use them. There's cost benefits, DDoS protection, but these outages are becoming more and more common. What are you going to do about it, Matt Games? Are you going to try to get off Cloudflare, or are you just going to hope they fix it and carry on? Yeah, look, it's still got Kick. Kick is still down.
I don't know if there's any way away from Cloudflare. I never had this issue.
So there's some alternate services. But yeah, they are going to come back anyway. But if this, starts happening more frequently, like we've been seeing, might have to consider it, man. How much traffic do your websites get in the first place? That'd be the first question I have to, like, if you need it. But yeah, even kick.com is still being impacted. It seems to have taken out their challenges.cloudflare.com. And you've
My Kick is
seen
up
it
right
get
now, but everything else down.
interesting. Yeah, the biggest impact that kind of fascinated me was this. It took out OpenAI and ChatGPT, where it was back down now. So this is what I call like a cascading outage. They'll get something up, and then it just keeps getting knocked out, and then knocks something else out, and you just have an absolute mess on your hands. Those are three gigantic sites that are just off. So Amazon's CloudFront is an option.
They're doing a data center update, but not sure.
Yeah, well, they're capable of doing updates without knocking out their network. So they don't have much of an excuse, but that's probably what they're going to say. These are some of the alternatives. I personally use Amazon too much. I'm trying to get off of them, so I wouldn't recommend them. I think too much of the internet relies on these giant cloud providers, and it's made everything way more expensive and brittle. Back in the day, we just called it servers, remote servers. And some really smart company or person decided to rebrand servers as the cloud. Maybe it was Apple, I don't know, but we got you all fooled. I would ask the AI who created it, but took out OpenAI. Right, so it was the CEO of Google in 2006 that essentially started popularizing the term cloud computing. Let's put up our live stats. We got a couple of likes. If we could hit some goals this morning, that would be good. If not, I've had worse things happen. It was funny. It's typically when a large proportion of the internet's out, I find myself going on, X or Twitter to see what people are saying about it. Can't even access them. And if you guys follow me in my typical streams, I often talk about, we're going to see the first large AI brownouts. Because we have so many folks that are not just benefiting from AI, but completely reliant on it. And I can see that becoming problematic at some point. We're making sense of this. I'm curious when the winter solstice is. My least favourite time of year, specifically just because it's so bloody dark all the time. It drives me insane. Oh wow, we've still got another month to look forward to that. Ugh. Yeah, not a fan of it. Not a fan. I might have to get closer to the equator at some point in my life. Celebrations of rebirth. Many cultures view the winter solstice as a time for rebirth and celebrate it as a turning point from darkness to light. Now, I could get behind that one. And I know in Scotland, it was a big part of the culture. It's been morphed with Christianity and all that, but interesting. The last time I opened a RAR file, but we do have a new banner update. Hopefully it's not a Trojan. Folks listening, make sure you join our Discord. You'll find out my profile. Oh, that's right. Preston was the guy that did a bunch of stuff with Scratch. It was really impressive. I recognise his name now. We need to get this AC on, boys. It's getting hot in here. Oh, Manta. No wonder I can't stand the winter solstice. I was born in the summer solstice, literally, almost to the day. Give me the bloody sun, man. I hate this. It's ironic, 'cause, I spend a lot of time inside, obviously. It's put a code in that, but I like knowing that it's like alive outside when it's dark, man. Oof. That's what makes me like brave being in a city when it's dark like that, because it's artificially lit. There's still life. It's a little bit different than I'm used to. Could be worse though. I could be in Scotland still. Really gets dark there. Really gets dark. So the seasonal affective disorder is definitely a real thing. That's just like past, I don't know, 3 or 4 months been kind of crap for me, man. It's been useless. Favorite part has been gaslit. My host country, which I enjoy being in very much, and being told, everything's great, everybody's making money, the economy's good. See, it's very much not the case. Don't believe your lying eyes. The main thing we need to do, we need to set up a reverse proxy for the staging server. That way we could have our live chat goals and everything when we're in public. Right now, Breed's production, it's a wee bit problematic. Setting up a reverse proxy when you're operating it all on the same server and fighting for the same ports is a wee bit of an issue. But we're going to have to work through it, boys. No choice. Let's see where we have to go. So we're setting staging.codelock.com. That's right, we'd have to create an additional SSL search for it, so it's a bit annoying. We're also locked out of a server. Let's add that.
WE says Cloudflare? More like down detector.
Our detector's also down. What's up, WE? How you doing, bud? Yeah, so far I've seen that ChatGPT's out, Twitter's out, Hick's out, and down detector as well. Some of the services pop up intermittently, but so down detector's back. You'd be pleased to know that Kynto doesn't use Cloudflare. We'll pop the oven on, heat up a pizza.
Making bacon, eggs, mushrooms, and onion.
Alright, that's a proper spread right there. You're just missing the tatty scones and brown pudding, but that's okay. That's right, we should grab another computer. This is some of these dummies on LinkedIn that were supposed to set up interviews.
You got Star Trek on.
Oh, you know it. Here's a twisting post, and one of the things I was warning some of you folks about. Day 5 after quitting my dream job at Meta, I'm ashamed to admit that I forgot how to code without Meta's infrastructure. At Meta, everything was already configured. CI/CD pipelines, deployment scripts, monitoring dashboards, all handled by platform teams. I just wrote code that was mostly already available and pushed it to main. Today I asked ChatGPT how to deploy a simple web app with Git like I'm fresh out of boot camp. Fascinating. That's the guy that works at Facebook and he's complaining about having imposter syndrome. You know, I'm sure he's a good programmer at what he does, but this is kind of what happens in the large corporate world this day. In order to insulate themselves from the effects and impacts of having a developer leaving the team,
Ha 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 ha.
Ash says nice haircut, bro.
Ash, buddy, how are you, man? Big man. W got a kick out of that. Yeah, how often do I say you have to know the full stack? It's corporations are not your friends, and they segment everything off, even front end from back end, to make it
All
easier
good,
to
bro.
replace.
I shared my project in your Discord, by the way.
Aye, Ash, I was taking a wee look actually about 20 minutes ago. Looks fantastic. So WE, Ash essentially created like a local Spotify that you can host. It looks like it scans your local media libraries and makes it available. Play and stuff, and it looks good. I was very impressed with how it looks on mobile, specifically. Let's see if
Thanks, bro.
no, you knocked out of the park.
How you
Definitely
doing?
excited.
What's today's task?
Kinda
Today's
like acid.
task. W remembers Acid. Well, the difference was Acid was using MP3 files hosted on remote servers. This is using your local. This is the desktop view. See if I can. I'm just impressed with this. Yeah, but this told me it was using your local library to see scan management. You must be using like Electron or something to gain access to the native files, huh? But yeah, I love this. It's really good.
Nicey.
And Ash, not too much of a plan today, honestly. But I'm here. Woke up around 5 or 6 a.m. and I was like, well, haven't streamed in a while. Let's start picking this back up. And right as I got on, there was a massive Cloudflare outage. Oh, I knew that because it took out ChatGPT. One of the smaller tasks that I brought to do was set up this reverse proxy to staging. Help us out with the IRL streams, being able to test all the
Morrison's
features.
self-service checkouts were down too.
Oh, Ash, fascinating. I didn't think about the real world impact.
Nice local host rely on others.
Yeah, definitely WE. So what did you have to do, Ash? They still had like someone checking out a line that you were just able to go over there and get sorted? The impacts, man. Insane.
Luckily, a few were still working.
Remarkable.
Never prayed that my job uses Cloudflare.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, like you could be using a WordPress website that uses a plugin or a theme with files hosted on Cloudflare. So even if you don't use it directly, you could be using a site that does rely on it, if that makes sense. I'll give you an example. So much of the internet uses like Google Fonts. That's just one example of, not self-hosting. Say about to like 2014, I was very,
use
very
Cloudflare
against.
Tunnel to access my locally hosted stuff over the internet, but that's about it.
Oh, interesting, Ash. So kind of like a VPN solution. Interesting. You heard that before? I'll check it out. Yeah, I realize like hosting a VPN on my router is.
Qubit, torrent, and jellyfin over the internet from anywhere, basically.
No, that makes a ton of sense, Ash. Essentially, what I've done is I run a bloody VPN on my router, so I can, gain similar access. But I realize it's not always the best option or the most secure. We had one chatter come on that's like, yeah, my site's down, it's getting 500 errors. Like, is it Cloudflare? And he's like, I think so.
Did they try turning it off and on again?
You know what fascinates me with ChatGPT is they're heavily funded and hosted by Microsoft. Why are they not using Azure's CDN? I find it interesting. They also have their own outages. They took out, no, I think that was unrelated. I think that was Russia banning all the Azure's IPs. It was like a month or two ago.
Ironically, isn't the reason people go to Cloudflare to avoid this, right? Haha.
Yeah, 100% Ash. That's it. Literally.
Cause even use Microsoft Teams uses Slack.
Microsoft Teams uses Slack. I can't really find any evidence of that.
Yeah, the dev team that builds Teams uses Slack to talk.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That makes more sense. Yeah, Teams is a bit of a mess. About a year or two ago, they released an update that basically borked the entire UI. Like, I couldn't find active chats when people were messaging me at work. It was kind of stressful, actually.
Sounds like the average consumer experience to me.
Yeah. Oh, when I was driving home last night in the pitch black, you know, it's that time of year, another lot had all the woods removed, was completely stripped, and a house was built on it, and it was surrounded by 20 to 30 light poles with like LED lights all facing in. That wasn't even the craziest part. The door sign above the house was like flashing these green LEDs for the house number, and I'm like, man, we're like in this messed up 1980s. I don't know, I just had like a weird, gross vibe that stuck out to me. Yuck. I'm gonna go by there tonight and actually get like a picture or video of it. It was, one of the numbers was flickering on and off as well, so it's just ugh. Where are we going? It literally looks like a prison. Aye, Biff indeed. It smells like it's time to pop that pizza in. Check the weather today. For personal reasons, I need to be in the sun. So yeah. We do pick this up when I go out into the right yonder. What's this? Yeah, we may as well give a Kynto native app live stream a test. There's actually some sunlight out. Last time we tested it, it was dark.
Right on. Where are you going?
Possibly the bridge. I mean, it's a little, the water will be a little cold for my liking, but I think it'd be good for me to try. We're no longer in the days of 90 degrees water. Really should have bought a, what you call it, one of those neoprene swimsuits that keeps you a bit warmer. Plus it keeps the jellies off you as well. Around this time of year there's quite a bit of jellyfishes in the water. Jellyfish. You might have heard them referred to as sea lice. That's actually just baby jellyfish. So, it'd be good. And I think it also dampens some of the signals your body puts out for sharks and that, because it's also the time of year when we have a lot of sharks in the water. Yeah. Not the best time to swim, but feels good. But you never know, it might be a beautiful woman out there. So. We'll go see. I think I might get this up before then. Right, but I don't want to risk taking out production in the process. So that's going to work better. Feel on it. Let's just try. Let's try and focus. It looks like I'm just looking at my phone, but I have to get the 2FA key to actually. We really need to get in a server we're locked out of as well. So the first simple security measures, typically on these sites, a lockout, SSH and everything, just with my IP address. Saves a little bit of bother. It doesn't look like that's what's impacting here. Oh, it's lights up. Daisy. Oh,
Don't forget pizza time.
lip. Found why I wasn't able to access it. It looks like it's using a different bloody key that wasn't aware of. Let's go ahead and pull that down. See if we can get that stupid little WordPress site back up. Started, you know, developing with PHP and that back in the day, but it's not the most enjoyable thing to work in these days. Missions. What does it want? We're into that server. That's good. All right, let's put it back up. We're using Cloudflare on it. All right, that's pretty good. Oh no. We need to get our apps back up. Fine. And Cloudflare is still down. Charging. Okay, we're good. So this is my PC. Bought it this time. We're back to using a proper camera. I like it a lot better. So it's a little bit more set up because I take it down and actually use it during the day, take pictures and that. But yeah, it doesn't. It's not nice not using it.
Yeah, the cam looks great.
Yeah, I love this camera. The last 6 or 7 live streams I did was not using it. I was using this little thing. It works pretty well, but
Do you use ND with it?
sometimes, but not today. It's got a super low ISO though. It's like on 200. The aperture wide open and a 1 out of 60 shutter speed, so it picks up the CRT nicely. But yeah, if I end up wanting to turn the lights on here because, you know, trying not to fall asleep or whatever, then I'll grab the ND filter. Lets me keep it cool. But WEN is back online.
I need more lead to become real streamer.
Oh yeah.
You need to get LED pointed directly at the camera with no diffusers.
Don't tempt me.
Then you true streamer.
Oh, this thing is bright. It puts out serious light. That's at 2%. Look at your screen. Now it's relaxing. I have no idea what's happening.
Now tell me about World of Tanks. I'll feel at home.
How about that? Just a little particle light down there for no reason. None at all. It is lighting up the side of this Coca-Cola can in a convincing fashion. How long do you think this Cloudflare outage is going to last? That's right, we should charge. We're going to do this stream test today. We should charge up the other phone so I can actually monitor it from the other phone. Because once I'm out there, I don't have a laptop on me. It's a whole different world, isn't it? I lived in Cambridge for 9 months and picked up in it. Let's charge up these camera batteries as well. Pizza time. Anything but a vegetarian, but I love me a veggie pizza. Bloody drop it, man. Sorry. Charge some batteries. Top up the drone batteries as well. It might just be a whole outdoor adventure. Can't swear. Probably shouldn't try cutting pizza on this thing, I know. Ooh, it's hot. For the oh wow, WE just made a 6 or 7 minute short. That's how long I put the pizza in for.
Anubob says, why create such games which no one will play?
It's fun.
I am curious, not intended to be rude.
Because you don't build stuff for other people, you build it for yourself.
You are right. I am going to follow that too.
Yeah, don't let expectations of others prevent you from learning or building stuff, man.
Do
Like
you
short.
chat or a serious coder?
You tell me, what do you think I am?
You have knowledge to build a game on your own. You are a god-level coder.
Takes one to know one. Anubabab. I'm the biggest encourager of people having personal projects and code sandboxes and stuff, especially if you want to learn new skills or have stuff to show people. I've got a lot of corporate work I can show, but not all of it gets me excited explaining it. But when we talk about WebRTC or WebSockets or WebGL, WebAssembly, that stuff's exciting. And I wouldn't have got to work with any of that stuff if it wasn't for me teaching myself and learning. Give you an example. About 8 years ago now, I was applying for a solutions architect job. I was in my early to mid-20s. Didn't go to school for programming. I showed a very basic version of this. Our code even was in Flash at the time. The CTO was like, look man, I don't understand half what you just said, but I can see how excited you are about what you built. And I'm like, you know what, I'll take that as a compliment. I got the job, I made a lot of money. Because I built something for me, and when I talked to someone about it, I was excited about it. That's how I did it. This is what I want to do with it. And give yourself that space as well. Features or problems get solved in stuff you build. So even if 90% of it is not what the public's going to see eventually, there might be 10% of it in there that does have actual value to a large amount of people. And I'd say this is what this has become. Mainly with the ability to host WebRTC streams inside of YouTube and Twitch streams and build them up wirelessly. Phase out OBS. All this sort of stuff that you wouldn't know if you just wrote it off at the top, which is fine, but that's why someone asks me, or gives me a dig for it, I'll be like, You know what? Man, I've heard worse. Nothing been easy about anything in life.
Do you live every day?
No. No. But I do get on often. Today we're preparing for a tech demo. Actually, I'll be using my iPhone to host an avatar stream remotely during the day. Last time we did it, we had a lot of support. A lot of folks were asking me to set up methods so people could support me in what I'm doing over here, which I thought was cool. But as I said, I'm doing this for me first and foremost. And if I was driven by money, this would have been a Bitcoin casino 5 years ago, or it would be a cam site or something. But that's not me. What do you want to code? What would you like to build for yourself or for others? Some of you are much smarter than me and know what other people want or need before anyone else, so I'm curious. That's the way it's set up already. Let's see here. I'm going to pull my code off of here. Take a quick look. Certbot configuration. See what domains we could hijack right now. We'll just take this entire domain. Let's do that. Because then I don't have to mess with DNS or anything. I can split it off after. How does that sound? Sounds good. Let's do this. Not feel about that. And for 902. Don't even know how to set that up. Let's see. Right, 53. These streams are making more and more use of the server capabilities we have right here in the office, especially. It's closer. Let's use SSL cert. So let's pull an IP. We still want it to. We still wanted to point out the server that's pointing that. So we're not making any DNS changes, but under the hood it's going to reverse proxy for us. I'm going to push this. I'm just going to try. Know what about.
I meant to ask, do you come live every day?
No, I do not. I've tried it periods, but I don't have the bandwidth to do that.
When you come live, usually on what time?
So the best advice I have for you is to join my Discord so you can get notifications, because there is no set time right now. Click on my YouTube profile, you'll see there's a Discord link. Yeah, you'll get notifications. Minutes build. I don't know where it's deploy. Finally. So this will be Nginx. And I'm expecting errors when we bring this back up.
What happened to the chat device? It stopped reading.
Oh no, it's reading. No, it's not a device, it's what I coded. That's what you're talking to me through. Oh, you're a manual QA, just completed learning advanced Java. Next stuff is to learn DSA and Spring Boot. Awesome. Yeah, which was many of your external colleagues in the past. You guys, appreciate you guys as a developer. Make my job easier. Sometimes the AI moderation doesn't let chats through because it's better to be careful and not. Got duplicate directives. I was wondering how I'm going to do this.
Do you have LinkedIn?
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Your best pet's the Discord, buddy. Do you have a job in your field yet, or are you new to QA?
Three years as a QA.
So, you work for like a American company remotely? Like, how does it work?
Working for Capgemini.
Listen, man, congratulations. What made you go the QA route instead of going into development or even automated QA? I mean, you could always go into automation with time, especially with the tools you're learning. Just curious.
I have worked as automation QA too, but still it involves a lot of manual testing.
That's true. At the company you work at, did they come up with a good way to get you selectors? One of the companies I worked at used QA IDs, which were custom attributes. And any new features or components or elements that we put on a page, we'd have to add a QA ID. It made it easy for automation to pull all that stuff out without hard coding, you know, selectors, like if this image is in a span, or sorry, if this image is in a div outside of this element, but actually having essentially named IDs, but custom attributes. I thought it was a great idea, and it definitely made development easier as well, because
I
we
hope
could
I
use
am
the
not
QA
distracting
IDs.
you.
Oh no. Like I said, this is pretty quiet right now.
Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah. How do you avoid, like, one of the biggest problems with automation in QA is coming up with selectors between you and the development team. How do you guys handle that? So your automation scripts don't break when elements are reordered.
It was a Salesforce-based application.
Oh, okay.
Selectors were pretty much stable.
That makes sense. Yeah, not every job might be as easy as that one, but that's good to know that you have it pretty good right now. As a dev, I highly appreciate QA. I see them as the ones that save me from getting in trouble of like breaking production. So, all the respect in the world. Everyone out, dogs.
What about you? Tell me a little bit about yourself, and how you landed in doing a solo project.
Well, I started coding when I was around 11 or 12 years old. I couldn't afford to pay the money for the games I was playing, so I started building them instead. And yeah, so I've always had a solo project, which never stopped as an adult. You know, I've rebuilt it many times, I've done many different ones. It's an opportunity to develop live and build the system on YouTube, Twitch and Kick, and have live chat be part of it. So I put a lot of effort into that. It always amazed me working with developers that didn't have personal projects outside of work. And he explained why their thinking was so rigid. Still to this day,
About
you'll
work
see very few.
experience.
Oh, lots of work experience. Too much to list. Everything from a C# developer to almost 2 decades of JavaScript, PHP, native apps. Just building iPhone apps at the recent company.
Ever worked on Java?
Yeah, but only for Android. C# is pretty similar to Java though. Java specifically, because there was a time before React Native.
Is it still in demand? Shall I learn Android dev in Java instead of Spring Boot?
Oh, Java's certainly in demand still. If you look up SAP Hybris in Google, you'll see that very, very large websites use that as their e-commerce platform. And that's all Java. Monolithic application. It's kind of a hellscape, but lots of good paying jobs in it. Uh-oh, didn't mean to do that. And I think you would do well to make yourself familiar with Android development as well, that's for sure. Oh no, we never uploaded our change. The CID didn't pick it up. Most things we can test locally, some things we can't. I think if you're offshore working for American companies, you'll get paid more if you do native
You
phone
know so
development.
much. Development, Devos.
Yeah, most of that just becomes pay attention in places I work and see what DevOps teams use these and stuff, and I'll be like, oh, maybe I can use that in my own project for automation, like deploy my projects. So rather than just using pre-existing solutions like Code Pipeline on Amazon or, you know, GitHub's Deploy or whatever. I want to build it myself, so at least understand how it works. And there's nothing to lose. You just gain more experience. And sometimes you can carry that over into your job. Like, you'll see people come on here that one of them builds a game in Java.
How long do you sit in front of your desk?
Not as long as it should be.
Are you still doing job or full-time YouTube?
Not full-time YouTube. I'm currently in between jobs. Got a nice severance, and that set me up for a little while, but it's the end of the year and it's not the easiest
Sorry,
time
I
to...
keep cutting you off. You were saying one guy is building Java games.
Yeah. See if I can remember what he's building it in. I can't remember what 2D library he's using, but he's building it in Java, and he's just doing it for the fun of it.
I think you are listening to Indian classical music. I am from India.
Oh, you guys have a lot of culture. I like mushroom pakora. India's a big place, though. Which part of India are you from?
What kind of game are you developing?
Haha.
Complex Ace, welcome to the chat, bud. So, it's more of a streaming overlay. Lets me share my screen, my cameras, and overlay avatars and stuff. And supports Twitch, Kick, YouTube. It's more of a sandbox that's evolved as I've done this streaming stuff. But I appreciate your question. There's quite a bit to it. Guys, make sure you're subscribed so you can see my native 5 phone app test today. Be going out and bringing avatars and chat along with me.
How can a single person build all of this, while our developer take 3 days to add a pop-up?
It sounds like you need to put in a good word for me at your job, sir. The main thing, the way I do it, is just a little bit each day. It adds up over time. I think creating an architecture that lets you do that as well is important.
Can I turn on subtitles? Are you British?
I'm Scottish, but I've lived in Florida long enough that you shouldn't be too noticeable.
Wait, you're developing the game that has our avatars on screen?
Yeah, Complex Ace. There's all sorts of commands you can use to control it. Little mini games, all sorts of stuff. It's a whole little virtual world dedicated to bridging chatters with streamers. Is the kind of the goal.
Your accent is tough for me, haha.
Well, I'll try and talk a wee bit slower. And I think there is captions in YouTube that you can enable, even for lives. It's complex S. I do have it showing for longer, but I've not pushed out a fix for that. My bad.
It says caption unavailable. Could you please look into it when you are free?
I will do. Looks like, yeah, I'll see what I can do about that. Okay, that's because we're doing an ultra low latency stream. See what I can do about that for the next stream. These changes right here. I'm going to disable the stats and goals updates though, because that's burning through our YouTube tokens, which we need for our test. Wow. Your avatar update. So there's a typo in wardrobe complex S, but you're pretty close.
Code lock says testing avatar.
I was inspired by something I seen on YouTube where someone made a little tech demo that was driven by chat comments. There you are. There's your avatar right here, complex S. If you have any ideas for chat
Dylan R
commands,
says
just let me
send
know. Oh wow, Dylan R.
Nice.
Long time, buddy. How are you doing? Appreciate complex S. Well, now you're probably getting into summer now. It's getting the opposite over here.
Very good, and you? I see the avatar screen is more active.
Yeah, Dylan, and that's been with it pretty quiet the past week. We had some streams that were doing, like, really performing well. And then it went down for a while.
The last few days have been really cold and rainy.
Really? I'm surprised to hear that. Yeah, it's been getting dark here early. Because we're giving the southern hemisphere all that daylight. You're welcome. I don't like it when it's dark outside. Not very nice. In complex S, type exclamation mark crawl. We'll make you seize on the ground.
Any deadline for this project?
Oh, no, definitely no deadline. Because it's just a personal project. That wouldn't be helpful. I just recommend you, subscribe, join the Discord, and just follow over time. See how it changes. If it changes, if I give up, if I keep going. Typically, I don't stream this early, so the regular people that come in aren't here right now, but it's a nice little switch up.
Ha, this is fun. I wanted to make an interactive streaming app at some point, but it was more of screen FX than playable characters. I like how you do things.
Appreciate you, thank you. I've noticed, like folks sometimes get inspired seeing this stuff and it gets them thinking. I think that's awesome.
Oh. What do you think of the project I made? I sent you the link I made for my mother.
Oh, I've not had a look yet, but I'm happy to pull it up. Do you want me to do it on or off stream?
Are you fine with feedback?
Oh, complex ace, absolutely. As long as you don't call me English, you're probably not going to hurt my feelings. I definitely appreciate the feedback.
Jess, I'm fine with feedback.
So Dylan, just to confirm, do you want me to pull it up on the stream right now? We'll have a look at it.
On stream if you have the time.
Okay, no worries. There's a couple of minutes here. Undo some of the changes I just did. And Complex Ace, definitely recommend you join that Discord if you can.
Sir, I'm having a hard time getting the commands. If they can all be on the screen at the same time, or as a bot reply in the chat, it would be a lot faster.
That's a good idea. I'll write that down.
I'll see if I can clear a server on server limit.
Oh, wow. Okay, no worries. That's impressive. Dylan, which Discord channel did you pop the link in? Was it a direct message? Yeah, it looks like it was.
He'll talk through Discord as I'm lagging.
Also, the stream UI is cluttering the game. If you move it up to your own stream instead of the game, it will be easier to engage.
We have a lot going on today.
The servers are to get instant support or maracking. I'm a game dev. When you account for plugins and software, it piles up.
That's cool, Complex S. I definitely want to know the sort of stuff you built. That's awesome.
Marketing.
What sort of games do you like to build?
I
Like
sent the link.
multiplayer or single player? Or... Always fascinated to hear what you guys work on. All right, so this is Dylan Dyer's little project, Sourdough Water Loss Tracker. It's a good example of using code to solve real-world problems, especially for people you know. It's pretty cool. Dylan, give me a second to activate Discord chat on the stream here, just in case you're messaging through there.
3D action games, realistic art style. I'm actually working on my own engine. Think Devil May Cry and Nier Automata.
Wow. So are you using Unity, or you shouldn't use your own engine? Like you literally like C++? Like what sort of stuff you got going on? Dylan, we have Discord chat up now, so if you message her there.
Discord_codelic_mobile says testing Discord.
Discord_Mabros15 says hello.
Hello. You want to explain a little bit about your project and how I should best use it? I don't know much about breaking bread. I wish I did. But I do see it's reactive. Are you using raw JavaScript, or are you using React, Vue, Angular? Let's take a look at your code.
Yes, I'm wrestling OpenGL and CPPRN, rolling on the floor laughing. I tried prototyping in Godot, but I was fighting the engine to get my shader working, so I decided to go via my own engine.
Yeah, no, I've known at least one person to go that route. I was always pushing him, like, hey, you should build this for web. And he's like, well, eventually I'll compile it for WebAssembly. And I don't know if he got to that point, but I was always enamored hearing what sort of things he was dealing with. And shaders are a fun one. I've done some fragment shaders for Kynto specifically, like for effects like snowing or rain.
The real code, I used an obstructor to obstruct the code.
Ah. Well, let's have a look at the obstructed code. It is not pulling anything in. So you did a good job, but let me see if I can speed it up a little bit. Typically, scripts would populate in this little area right here, but I don't see it at all. What sort of obstructor did you use here, Dylan? I used to be quite worried about quote-unquote protecting my code. But when you build stuff like this, like, performance is important, and the performance costs were never worth it. All right. Oh, there's your JavaScript. Oh, that's super abstracted. See a lot of hex code.
I'm considering web and Android, but the priority is Windows, console, though I did a little research and seems doable.
Awesome. What do you do for
What's your
like models and stuff? So the easiest way to get to my Discord, since I don't really know the best way to tell you, would be click on my YouTube profile. You know how it has like the about section with links? The top link is the Discord. from Dylan R. So what I can see, even with this being obstructed, I can see that you essentially included all the code you needed in this inline bit. I can see it's not using React.
The user readability code to that down-to-earth code.
Yeah, I can see that. But see, I can see like document get element by ID, so I can see where you're implementing some of that reactivity. So even without cleaning this up, I can actually still pull some information out of it. Yeah, I would like to see the real code as well. What's interesting is I thought inline code including your HTML still populated on sources, but it doesn't. Which is wrong in that assumption. Wow. Cloudflare's still out, so half the websites I'm trying to load don't even work. Ridiculous.
Cloudflare out?
Yeah, Dylan R. Cloudflare's been taking out ChatGPT, Twitter, even kick.com. Like the homepage works, but if you try and load into someone's videos, it won't. But it's intermittent. But yeah. What do your mum think though of your project? She use it? And how did you come up with the algorithm? And how helpful has that been? Sees it works offline. No, you have an opportunity to make this a PWA, a progressive web
What's
app.
your Discord?
Delinar, can you help Complex Ace get to Discord? I'm not sure what the actual ID is for it.
Can you tell Complex Ace what the Discord ID is or what is needed?
I send it, but I think the link gets filtered by moderation. Do it no appear on screen.
Yeah. But Discord Ace, if you go to my YouTube profile and click more, you'll see it's this link right here. That's the best way to get to it, just because
My
chat
internet
filters
cut
out
off,
links.
sorry. Did you ask how I get 3D models?
Yeah, that's definitely a question I'm curious about too. But just so you know, for the Discord, click on my profile. So you have to click off the stream, and then you can get the links right here.
Thanks, let me try.
Good luck.
Sorry, I have to find the code but ran all the backups. Now it's so messy here. It only added 2 comments. How is it that flat on memory?
Joined. As for 3D models, I am originally a 3D character designer, but if I need something quick, I look up free stuff from Sketchfab.
Awesome. Cheers for dropping that.
Sent it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing a little live stream development session targeting this with a VJS. And that was my biggest question is, the hell, what are you supposed to do for models? But you've got a leg up, man. Being able to build them yourself as well. It's huge. All right, let's take a look at Don's code here.
Thanks, can't say I'm the smartest to go this route, but hey, I want it, and probably am crazy enough to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's how cool things happen. 100%. If no one did stuff like that in the first place, the internet would be a very, very boring place. Even look at the origins of Minecraft and all that. I get that was in Java, but he still ran with it. It seemed like a crazy idea.
What do you think of it? Smiley face. I put a lot pain into it. I'd say it's my best work, but most of the UI elements are from Uber's website.
It's pretty clean, honestly. It's pretty clean. I don't see a ton of evidence that you're using AI to generate all this, just based on some of the naming of the functions and stuff. So that's good because you actually learn how to put code together and how it relates. Leonard, correct me if I'm wrong.
Do you check other people's work? I could use an opinion.
Yeah, complex says I love to. So Dylan, the biggest feedback I'd give you now, before you even...
The only UI is that loading animation colors and the added 2 comments.
So, a couple of tips just to keep your code clean as you start moving along here. Avoid using inline styles. It's better to do that in your CSS. Sometimes you might need to, if you're doing something programmatically, conditionally applying a font or something, but I break my own rules too, but I'm just giving you some feedback. That would keep your HTML cleaner. But yeah, good stuff. I think it's good that you learn how to manipulate DOM elements directly before jumping into something like React or Vue, even if that's eventually where you want to go. So it's literally no different than how I started. Very cool. What did your mum think of it? Complex S, I'm keeping an eye on. chat here to see if anything comes in.
How can I identify my work? I've been a bit suspicious of some code my friend sends me. He says it's his work, but I'm suspicious of the amount he's doing in the time.
Well, one of the things to look out for in AI generated code is the comments that the AI adds to the code. The other thing will be the variable names, the function names, and you'll notice AI likes to nest conditionals a lot.
Thanks.
So,
I sent a link to your Discord. You'll need Godot to open it though.
Let's see, I might have it on this machine. No, I'll grab it.
Power Skills says hello.
Still power skills. You see the Cloudflare outage?
New timings.
Our power skills, I just hopped on because I was up. But yeah, we bit of a different time.
Oof, is Cloudflare still down?
That's a good question. It looks like the challenges subdomain is back up on Cloudflare, but occasionally I'll hit a website and it's from F500, but I think they've restored most of it. I like your commit messages, Complex Ace. Like, I know, man. Very relatable. Whoa.
What do you think of my setup? Split screen Samsung Android.
Never thought someone would see them, haha. I'm not a pro coder, but I look things up when I want to.
Oh, yeah. It's downloaded it. Where did it go? Be doing Irish comment real quick. It's pretty cool. He's got the chat up and he's got his. It's crazy. I'm coding on your phone, man. See, when I started coding, it was before, Android and iPhone, but we had PDAs like HP, Compaq. I think even Dell had one. I was doing a similar thing, but it was on Windows CE. I would have a Skype up, and my coding environment back then was Notepad. Just to give you an idea. I'm not even that old, but it was a different time. You know? Alright, go to it. So it looks like a lighting system that you've coded. Is that the case here, Complex Ace? Which is pretty cool.
I spend most of my time just making the environment work.
Yeah, I completely understand that. Not entirely familiar with Godot here, but I'm trying to see if I
Didn't
can.
help that I was on an ancient computer and can't run any Electron app. Yes, lighting system.
Very relatable there, Complex Ace. Let me take this phone call right back. I'll be right back.
You can see all of the code in the shader.
Cool.
Oof, latency.
OJE Complex A.
Thank you.
Said hi.
All right, cool. So my friend got us press passes for a local concert of a pretty good band. So taking this camera and actually taking it to a concert.
Appreciated,
exciting.
but I couldn't catch the message. Which platform did you send it from?
From
Oh,
Discord.
yeah, there's a live stream channel on Discord. That's where Donar's messaging from. See if I can work through this to find the shader. Oh, here we go. Big shader. It's right there. Try to see off the bat how different this is from WebGL shaders. Pretty similar. Not the easiest stuff to
My
like.
English is a bit wonky at this moment.
Oh, cool.
Like, what is your best project?
I haven't tried WebGL or OGL yet, but it seems like similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think WebGL is a wee bit more scaled down. Okay. I think I spent some time trying to get like a really nice water shader working on web. I think I found it for Unity. And I was able to get it most of the way there,
You can try
but
it in real time if you move the Lee cap light.
I'm not too familiar with this UI here, so just stumble around a little bit.
Discord_complex says I'm trying to think.
Okay. Okay, the LI cap light in the hierarchy window and move it around to test light interaction. Probably killing you complexes watching
in
the
the
stuff here.
Harachu, top left there is an object called Lee cap lig JT of something.
Okay.
At the top bar, you can switch to 3D mode. Oshi, try to find the scene in bottom right. Test, I think.
Yeah.
Should be in the root directory.
Oh, do a thing.
Sorry for the complexity.
Oh, no worries, complexities. I know you're cringing watching me try to navigate it. That's how I feel when people play stuff I put together. Don't have to apologize. I'm more impatient to work through it. Super.
Yes, that scene.
Said hi.
So I won't be able to like manipulate it, because I feel like I'll be
I
able to
thought I
see it
fixed the
easily.
blackness though.
How do YouTube fans work?
What do you mean, Dylan?
I sent a pic if you're confused.
Does the face look black?
Yeah, so this one right here, but the one next to it doesn't. I'm trying to get by it so I can see, but oh, there we go. I should do it. Gotta like rotate another side. Let me see, can I change this? Oh, there you go. On the front, it's fine. That's cool.
We can't see the whole screen on stream.
Oh, my bad. Let me move this up. Try to move further into it, but it can't really do it. It's pretty cool.
Ah, yeah, it's working as it should.
It is. It's looking cool. Very, very cool. What inspired you to put this together? You were just disappointed with the lighting systems that you've seen?
Did you find the LeCap light?
I have not.
Is that 3D software?
Yeah, so he put this together in Godot. And Godot it's for 2D or 3D. I've
That's
heard good
Godot.
things.
Yeah, I wanted realistic games on my ancient laptop.
That's cool. Now that's where it all happens, man. Limitations breed projects like that. I just wanted to mention something though. So in the future, say you have something you want to show and you want to show me how to use it, you could do this. So I coded it, show you can share desktop. Check this out. So you could literally share your project and show us it being used right in the system. Obviously, you have to be a trusted contributor of the channel, but like, it is a super fun way to show stuff effectively. Like we could share the
Cool,
Godot.
that makes two of us. I have a Lenovo 3000G 532 GB of RAM. A friend gave any an extra 1 GB.
My first development computer had 124 megabytes of RAM, so I can empathize.
Cool.
So now I can move this out of the way here, but shrink this. And control it in another window. Let's see.
Thanks for checking it. This was developed on 512 megabytes VRAM.
That's impressive. Yeah, please keep bringing stuff to us to look at, because this is awesome. And as someone that has a little bit of interest in lighting engines in the first place, this is very cool to me. So I appreciate you showing it.
I'm just not sure if it will work on the browser with Android. I'll be sure to try the streaming.
Ah, that's true. So
Wow,
I did
that's
code.
vacant.
I coded a native iPhone app for it, but I have to do the Android app to support screen share on Android. I will add that though.
Very glad to hear that.
Heck yeah. Oh, and Dylan R's question on how does this work? So YouTube introduced some sort of leaderboard. They've not done much with it yet, but it ranks people based on their interaction with that specific stream. Now, I do plan on coding some support into Kynto for this. Maybe that could be additional metrics that we track, you know, to unlock certain features or something, but yeah. Basically a YouTube thing. Not seen too much done with it yet. All right, I think we'll start checking our batteries here.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I think I'm going to start packing up to head out into the sun. Be interesting. The sun sets relatively early here, as it does in most of the northern hemisphere.
Apple harder? I'm finicky thinking about it, but if it's worth it for saving for Apple, it's worth it.
Well, that's a good question. We'll see who asked. It does depend on who asked that question.
I think it's the game engine I'm working on. It's a combination of all my experiences for the past years. But if I had to pick another, probably my old 3D works. I can send some here if you want.
Awesome. And that's responding to Dylan R's question, like, what's his favorite project, I think. Scroll up. What's your best project? Yeah, essentially. Dylan R, I enjoy the MacBooks for developing, and the iPhone has the best camera in the industry, so that's the main thing. I think the iPhone would be kind of rough for you though, because you like to develop on your phone. You kind of use it as a computer. I think Android is better at that than the iPhone. But if you had like a MacBook Air as well as an iPhone, then you'd have a very powerful setup. You can run language models right on your MacBook Air that you would be able to run without very powerful GPU on Windows, for example. I was never a fan of Apple.
Cool,
I got forced into it.
Open it though I'm not allowed on my laptop at this moment.
Yeah, Dylan R is going to be straight in Android for a while then. It makes most sense for you. But in the future, Apple does have a nice ecosystem for development. Maybe not so much for what Complex Ace is doing though. That's why I said it depends on who's asking, do you know? Alright guys, this was a cool wee stream. I'm glad I hopped on. Like I said, I hadn't been feeling up to it the past couple of days. I'm a wee bit bummed out, to be honest, but you know, we're here and seen some cool stuff today. It looks like we'll have some more stuff to see in the future. Any last questions or comments before we wrap up the stream this morning? I'm used to saying tonight, but it's 10:48 a.m. here, so it's actually early. Very strange.
Oh cool. I think I might one day try to do a WinPC Macintosh just to try Apple.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing at the beginning. The main thing is it's just if you do any sort of web development or build code that's going to be deployed to servers, Apple's local environment is very similar to what you would get from a Linux server. So that's one of the main reasons that I like it. And the battery life. It's hard to beat. I have a very powerful Windows computer laptop with a 390 in it GPU, but the battery would last like maybe 3 hours. That's it, and that's at that sort of battery level, there's no development occurring. By the time you get your environment up, it's already halfway through your battery. Not so great.
Do you know what I love about Samsung? Like just yesterday I've been a half an hour on 0% battery. Wow.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Cannot beat that. Ooh, before we shut this down, I need to make sure that we can access production. I did break that a little bit, didn't I? Oops. All right, let's take a quick look.
How long is the YouTube response time again?
Dylan, it's lower than it used to be, but the cost of that now is we don't have closed captions
Sorry
or
if
anything
I'm
like
not
that.
responding to everything. My internet keeps cutting out.
Oh, no problem, Complex Aces. Hopefully you're not hosted by Cloudflare. But I think, Dylan, you might be up to like 10, 15 seconds behind. Well, it reads out your chat comments from YouTube almost instantly on my stream now. But the delay between when you see that happen from my stream is like 10 seconds, if that makes sense.
My engine isn't usable yet, for the 3D stuff.
No, I imagine it's very much a work in progress, eh?
Cool.
Should be working.
Just a heads up, I believe there are 2 messages of me that did not go through on YouTube, or I just missed it.
Let's see. Oh, Dylan, I sound a wee bit tired. It's actually really early in the morning. And yeah, I'm a wee bit tired, but mainly because I've not been outside in the sun.
I think it cuts out sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Why isn't this working? Was not found in upstream server.
My engine isn't usable yet, for the 3D stuff. Chip, I also think so, as avatars can cut each other off.
When did you start working on it, Complex S? Yeah, and Dylan, I do have some changes coming to fix that, but it will finish reading out your messages before cutting someone else off. I actually have quite a bit of stuff to release.
Said hi.
Hello. Come on. Sometimes a step forward means a step back. And that's what we have right here. Okay. Is it working now? Okay, cool. Let's harden this off.
I'd actually want to meet you in real life one day. That would be awesome.
Code me up. Oh, hopefully the channel continues to grow because it's been fun. Definitely is like way more enjoyable when I'm seeing what everyone else is working on and how it all relates, right?
I started with 3D like, around 2010.
I'm complex ace. You're early on it. I remember I was so scared of 3D for so long, specifically because of the math in that.
I don't remember, maybe after.
Wow.
– 2010. If it's okay asking, how old are you? Almost 30.
No, I was going to say late 20s doesn't make sense. Yeah, Dylan, for most of us, we don't lose our interest in this stuff. It just gets a little bit more refined over time.
This is the first time I get it's cool rather than you're old.
Relatable.
All channels start small then grow big.
Hopefully we're one of them.
LOL.
You know, it's funny, Complex Ace. Started coding when I was a young teenager. I remember I wanted to be older because I always felt back, you know, people...
Oh, I started 3D design back then. I only started graphics programming now, but I did fiddle a lot with shaders.
I remember people just thinking a lot less of me because I was young in coding. I wasn't very experienced, so I remember wanting to be older, and that happened. Eventually you do become older. That's cool though. 3D artists get into the shaders, because that's programmatic art, 100%.
I mean shader graphs / nodes. It's not mathematically complex.
Interesting.
Oh. What hardware do you use? I just realized I'm 1 minute behind on the stream, that's why everything backfires.
Ah, that would do it.
RN? Intel UHD 630. Most of my life? Weak ass hardware that can hardly run 13 FPS.
Wow. Yeah, you're someone I'd want to have like a proper GPU in their hands, man. See what you could do with it. But like I said, limitations can force you to come up with stuff that you wouldn't come up with otherwise if you had everything for free, quote unquote.
Got my old laptop fixed instead of the 512 megabytes one. Though my main PC is gone forever. Why is your main PC gone forever? Got fried from unstable electricity.
Yikes.
I just fixed my dad's PC, his BIOS was bricked, I reflashed it with a BIOS programmer.
Right on.
My internet is completely unstable, RN weary face can't watch the Steam, text only.
Honestly, it's a pretty cool way to see the stream being used. It's literally a real life Discord conversation. It's pretty funny. I had an Alienware desktop that was taken out by bad electricity. I replaced the PSU in it. Came
Where
back to
you
life.
from? I got the power supply fixed and tried a different GPU. The GPU itself might be dead. Syria. Sheesh, that a long cooldown.
Complex Ace, that's cool, man. I hope that everything is as stable as it can be right now.
I'll go look real quick on Google Maps. If my engine works out, then I'm good. The plan is realistic graphics on potatoes. Bold claim, I know, but I have a proof of concept.
That's an epic claim.
Sure. 'Tis a war zone, third world country with most things unsupported.
It's a shame because the history of that culture is so deep and rich, and
Well, I'm
some
all
of the
for it.
oldest
If I can get one game on my laptop, it's one game.
some of the oldest civilizations come from that area as well. So I feel for you. I'm glad that we have the internet, and I know your connection's unstable, but you being able to share what you're working on and what you want to do with it, I think is awesome, and honestly makes even going live worthwhile to see that, witness it for myself. Lots of respect. Yeah, and Dylan, I am as well. 100%.
Need to go see ya.
Yeah, I'm about to head out as well.
Need to go.
It was good catching up with you, Dylan.
Ladies.
Good catching up, Dylan, and really enjoyed talking with the R-Complex Ace.
Likewise.
Awesome. Alright, Complex, have a great one. And yeah, keep an eye out. We'll be doing more of these lives. This was awesome. So when I shut these streams down, you'll see I have a whole system set up to do that. And yeah, we'll start killing YouTube. Literally turn it off. Have to be precise with my language on YouTube. They're a bit funny. And then yeah, up here we can actually stop the stream. Alright. Catch you guys later. This was cool. I'm actually packing up to go do a little tech demo out at the beach, I think. So keep an eye out.